Hey guys, so today we wanted to talk about the love styles of TJs, FJs, TPs, FPs. Calypso and I actually saw this personality hacker article a while back, and we'll link that in the description. And after reading it, we just thought it was like really true. And now that we, I think, have some dating experience between the two of us, enough to comment on like all four types, we just want to talk about the theory of that article and also some of our own experiences and observations on that.
I have actually dated all four types. I've had like serious relationship with a TP type and a TJ type. But for like casual dating or like one-off dates or two-off dates, I've actually gone out with FPs and FJs as well.
That's really funny because it's for you, it's like serious relationships with both of the thinker types. For me, it's been pretty much the only types that I've dated are FJs and FPs, so the feeler types. Okay, wait, before we get into all that, I just want to say that these are kind of generalized. Like, there are a lot of other factors that can determine how they show love. Like, for example, love languages, I think, is an important thing. Enneagram might also be really important. Like, you could have like a TJ or like a TP or FP that's a type 2, and then that might make them more FJ-like in the way they show love. So yeah, this isn't like a 100% rule, but I think there's a general trend here that we can discuss.
Yeah, I think there's a general trend. Let's start with TJs!
The way I kind of like conceptualize this is, I guess, based on the main judging function. So TJs use TE. So it's like this outward judging function using logic. So I think the way that translates in terms of like love or relationships will be taking care of things for the other person externally in a logical fashion.
Yeah, I definitely think that's true. My TE is very challenged, so I think I naturally gravitate to strong TE users. Yeah, definitely like maybe this is by accident, but yeah, probably most of the people that I've even like one-off dated are like TJ types, and they do tend to want to like take charge of the relationship. Yeah, I feel like TJs are really likely to lead the direction of the relationship, and they're quite effective in improving state of affairs, providing and optimizing, which is like my favorite word when describing TJs, like optimizing the relationship. For both INTJ types, they actually comment when the general state of the relationship is getting better, which is not something I think of like at all. I'm just happy like all the time to see the other person, but they're like, wow, the sex is getting better, the intimacy is getting better. I'm like, getting better? What do you mean? What's getting better? But yeah, I guess they tend to have this like general trend. The STJs want to help me out in all these practical matters. No, seriously, STJs just give me advice on how to make money like all the time. I'm like, are you trying to date me or be my financial advisor?
Yeah, so I think one thing that the personality hacker site that says that I find is really true is that TJs will try to understand you and your behavior and try to figure you out so that they know how to respond best to you. And for me, I feel like that's very true. I definitely want to like know the person I'm dating inside and out, so I know how to interact with them in a way that's like beneficial for both of us. And it can kind of come off as like a very cold and unemotional way to approach things maybe for some people. But I guess that would be like a TJ's way of like or just a way to know that a TJ is interested in you if they are trying to like understand all your behaviors. And yeah, so the other thing, it might not be always obvious that they are doing things for you because they're not like the most emotionally expressive. So like we're not, yeah, I should include myself in that. Yeah, especially with the introverted ones, maybe like with ENTJs, ESTJs, it might be more obvious that they're doing this for you, but with the blank TJs, it might just be things like showing up and like planning this or planning that maybe to other people would be like normal things to do, but
showing up. I showed up.
I know, right? I know that sounds bad. It's like not a good thing, but I think that's true. Just the fact that like we want to spend time with you, especially if we're very introverted and maybe not the most people-oriented kind of, personality type, then just wanting to spend time with you could be a sign of interest.
people can pass a very low threshold for me to spend a lot of time with them. Just because I will just spend time with the person because they're new, I've never met them before, and that will be a new experience, like in E. But I didn't realize until like that moment how the INTJ like so values this like finite time in this world, and only people who truly matter will like carve out a slot in the schedule. It might be just the introverted TJs. Like I think the ISTJ is also big on time, punctuality, and respects kind of thing. But definitely, extroverted TJs, they do not like inefficiency at all. They're more like want to manage you. Like, if I'm doing things not efficiently, they're gonna want to fix that and fix me. They will show love by like taking care of the logistics.
Yeah, so the one last point I have to say is that they might try to inspire you through kind of like a TE way of like showing you facts or like certain T outcomes that you could do, I guess, opposed to like an FJ who would just be better at motivating you through like emotional means, I guess. Okay, shall we move on to FJs?
Sure.
Okay, so again, FJs have an outward judging function, but this time in values. So I guess they will externally show you that they value you and that they care about you. So this will be, I guess, very demonstrative. They'll probably be, quite demonstrative in affection. Make sure that you always get emotional support that you need. They might also, this might be an SI thing too, but I think FJs might also use more obvious, like, romantic symbols, where in contrast to, like, TJs might not see the importance of these romantic symbols, I guess, but FJs might use that as a way to, like, convey their feelings to you.
Yeah, oh yeah, so FJ is really easy to tell that FJ likes you because they will be sweet and caring and they'll give you like lots of emotional support. Oh, I forgot to say for TJs, they'll like text you if they need to text you. If there's an actual thing to do, like plan for the next date or something, TJs will text you. So that means that they might not text you very often, but FJs will probably text you every day to just check up on you. I feel like that's one of the ways that they receive love as well, is like, okay, do other people check up on me and my well-being? NFJs are more like big picture in their emotional support. Yeah, they have this general big picture of rapport and emotional support and wanting the best for you, which FPs also have, but not in such a directed way. Like, FPs will just, like, love and accept you, but, like, FJs, they love you so much that they want to, they like, want the highest rate of growth for you, and they want you to reach your potential. Yeah, that's the word. FJs want you to reach your potentials, and FJs. I think SFJs, it's the SI, it's really just high SI. SFJs, STJs are the most likely to do the traditionally romantic stuff. And SFJs definitely a mile more than the STJs because, like, as you said, they might not sometimes always see the point. But SFJs, oh my god, I've seen some, like, ISFJs, which are probably the most romantic men in the universe. Like, no, because, and the girls too. The SFJ guys that I've dated, they would be the ones to, like, run out. No, like, when he stops the car while I'm like trying to undo my seatbelt, he runs out of the car so I don't like have to open the door, right? Or like he doesn't even want the possibility of me opening the door, so while I'm like undoing my seatbelt, he just like runs. SFJs are also the ones to buy me flowers for no reason, like a bouquet for like no reason, which has not happened with any other types. So learn something from the SFJs. I'm kidding.
I've dated an NFJ, and yeah, I do think that the way that they show their FE affection is very like long term and like, yeah, making sure that you see your potential and trying to, I think, inspire you emotionally by kind of like conveying positive emotions and boosting your morale and like believing in you that you can do this and that kind of thing. For SFJ, it's more about finding particular moments to kind of like show that affection with SFJs, where NFJs might have this more like long-term plan of like boosting you.
Yeah, SFJs are very doting and almost like spoiling kind of they're really caring. Oh my gosh, they're really caring. They want to help you with all the. It's the same thing with NTJs, STJs. STJs want to help me out in all these practical matters, and then for SFJs, kind of like similar, but more like emotional. They want to improve like your life in all these like emotional ways.
Okay, TPs.
Yeah, moving on to the hardest one of the bunch to explain, like how does a TI user show love? Nobody knows!
Well, that's not true. I'm sure like TPs and FJs know. It's just like us non-TI users are like are perplexed by it. Yeah, so going on the same kind of conceptualization, TPs have TI, which is like an inwards judging function in logic. So the way I interpreted this is that they will try to understand you in like a logical fashion, I think, internally. And then this will come out with, I think they'll be quite honest with you with exactly how their logical working of you is. And I think they will maybe offer ways to solve problems for you, but they won't get involved with it. They'll just kind of give it to you, and then, yeah, well, I think they'll give you space. So it could be kind of seen as being detached, but it also could be seen as a good thing and not getting like overly involved or like pushing themselves on you.
Yeah, I think TP types strive to like understand first and foremost, and they will like not judge you or get too involved with your life, which means that I think they're not gonna try to improve you, unlike the judging types. Which is kind of good because, you know, perceivers, they usually end up with judging types, so it's like, yeah, so as perceivers are not very aggressive on their external environment, so they tend to not like want to improve you, which is kind of nice. That means like it's an ultimate acceptance kind of thing. Like they understand how you work, and then they just accept you. No, I feel like it's probably not an accident that I dated an ENTJ and then immediately after I dated an ENTP. And it was like total night and day. Maybe like TI is something like, you know, searching for truth and internal consistency. So by that logic, maybe change doesn't really make sense. Like they've already conceptualized you as a person. There's no reason to like change into, yeah, like they don't want you to behave in a way that's not going to be consistent or truthful to yourself. It's going to be inaccurate and not truthful. I don't want to say inauthentic because that's FI. It's really hard to like, you know, for TPs and FPs, they're a little bit similar in a certain sense, but maybe for the TP, the not trying to change the other person is more to do with how that just doesn't make any sense. Like why would you change the other person? Like what? So on the personality hacker thing, it said that for TPs, one of the ways that they ask if they're loved is, does it make sense for the other person to love them? And I freaked out when I read that because, oh my gosh, I think I was like actually in love with a TP person. But then I found out that he just didn't, like, we were in a relationship, but somehow he just didn't know that, or he didn't truly believe that I loved him. And, you know, he said a bunch of, like, his reasons, but now I'm like, maybe it's because he couldn't find a reason why I should, like, he couldn't find, like, any logical sense to why I would like him. Especially if they're filtering FE through TI, since, like, their FE is lower, they're kind of trying to make sense of all people's behavior, like FE behavior, in a TI way that makes sense. So he tried to like make sense of my behavior, but it just, to an NF, it doesn't, you know, there's no rhyme or reason to my emotions. Come on.
This is hard. I've never dated a TP. But yeah, there is that sort of acceptance that you get with perceivers where I think they'll just kind of give you space and let you be who you are. But I think with FPs, they will give you that kind of like, maybe there will be emotional support and kind of emotional acceptance, but I think with TPs, it's more of this like logical kind of understanding that you can kind of operate the way that you need to operate.
I think TPs, STPs tend to be really physical, affectionate, almost like hedonistic. I have some STP female friends. Her TI would be like, does it make sense that I'm in this relationship with my current boyfriend? Like, does it make sense? She was always trying to figure out if it's consistent. Yeah, but I think, generally, NTPs have a more hands-off approach. They'll like overwhelm you with ideas, give you all sorts of perspectives, but and then you're free to do as you choose. If you didn't do any of their perspectives, they're not gonna get mad at you or anything.
So with TPs, the lower FE, I think can manifest by, I think in the ETPs it comes out more just by like showing you they care, but I don't think they ever cross that line into the FJ territory of trying to inspire you and boost you and making sure that you live up to your potential, or ever being kind of like overwhelming with it. I think they're just kind of more laid back and might be more spontaneous with their FE emotions. With the ITPs, that probably comes out less frequently, and they might even be kind of a little bit insecure about how to do that. But then again, I think they'll probably be more accommodating towards you and give you more space than the ETPs would. Okay, FPs. So FPs have an inner judging function in values. So I think this translates as them being able to accept you as you are. So I think whereas TPs will be kind of more logical and might be kind of more honest or try to kind of accommodate the logic of how you are at this moment, FPs will be more understanding and will try to kind of accommodate you as you are in terms of their value system, and I think will be very understanding of your own value system that you have. And I think they might be helpful in terms of offering ways to understand your emotional experience without them being pushy about like what they think is best for you. They will just kind of, I think, help you through your own analysis of your own emotions so that you can kind of come to a better understanding of it. Yeah, so I guess as perceivers, they will also kind of give you space to be you. Well, I would say for the most part will kind of remain. Yeah, well, I think they will be passive in terms of that they won't necessarily try to change you or try to make you do anything, or they will just kind of let you be as you are, but will be available if you come to them, I think.
Right, that is what the personality hacker thinks. Yeah, so I had like so much trouble actually like filling this one out, even though I am FP. It was just because when I was filling out the other three, I was like, oh yeah, these are the reasons. These are how they show love. And then when I got to my section, I was like, oh, I don't show love in any of the way. Like, I don't show love at all. I just receive the love. No, I'm kidding. But I was like shocked by how maybe it is passive. So without making this like overly gendered, I think the word that I came up with was receptive. So if people want to optimize this relationship, I'm receptive to it. I think like if I love a person, I trust them to take the lead. And sometimes that involves like changes in my own life. Like when they're taking the lead in a relationship, it might, for example, like moving to another country. To like Uganda, I don't know, I'll move. And I will love and accept you as you are. But here's the other point that's kind of even more interesting. Giving freedom on principle. Yeah, and when I was younger, I always wanted my boyfriends to be like with other people as well. Even if I don't even need to be with other people, but I thought if they wanted to be with other people, then they should. Because I didn't want to inconvenience anyone into anything. Like, I thought everyone should just get their desires met. And I love them so much. I want them to have all of their desires met. I don't want our relationship to constrain them in any way at all. So I want everyone to be free.
Yeah, I guess I've dated 2 FPs. And I think that's kind of generally their attitude towards relationships in general. Not that, like, all of them are, like, you know, averse to like monogamy or anything like that, but I think they're just like, yeah, they're open to anything, and they definitely don't want to like force you into some sort of exclusive relationship. I think there has to be that like authenticity of your desires.
I think FP types are kind of, they're naturally wanting to please the other person. So yeah, I think they're like natural pleasers, and they're kind of like capable of self-change and sacrifice, or like, I don't know, there's like pleasure in sacrifice, or they'll give themselves up for love and stuff like that.
I also want to say difference, like I think the IFPs are probably the most kind of accepting of like anything that may happen, or just like accepting of like the state of the other person, or yeah, what happens in the course of the relationship. The EFPs definitely are too, but I think they might also have that tertiary TE coming in, and I think they actually, you could see that a little bit. They will never quite go into that TJ territory, but I think if approached, then they will try to help you in sort of a TE way and offer you like practical solutions and stuff like that. But I think like the NFPs will kind of explore all these conceptual possibilities with you and try to kind of give you ideas on that way, maybe to help you out or to help you analyze. And I think the SFPs will probably have more practical knowledge on like how to operate in the real world.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for watching this episode. We're really curious to know your thoughts and opinions on and your experience dating these types, or like if you are one of these 4 types, do you think it was accurate for you? Yes, let us know in the comments. Write a comment.
And if you guys enjoy our videos, please consider pledging your support on Patreon. We would really, really appreciate it. That'll enable us to keep making videos for you guys.
Okay, as always, subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you next time.